Thank you for joining us in this holy purpose. And I'm just looking to have you be able to unmute yourselves, manage participants. And yeah, so that you can unmute yourself to share your experiences. Let's see. Yeah, so you can share your experiences with chapter 20 and ask any questions that you would like to ask. And certainly it's always an opportunity to talk to Jesus and hear Jesus through our brother here. And I know Linda really wanted to come, but she couldn't join us today. And she said they've been joining every single day. And Jesus was saying, if you can join every day on this, it's a wonderful use of time. It's the best use of time, actually, he's saying, to spend that time with him every day in commitment to yourself, to the self. He says, I can hear him saying there's nothing more important than this. Is it because it's really learning to listen to his voice, hear his voice, speak his voice. And there just isn't anything more powerful than that for any of us. It's the gift that goes on giving. It's the gift that goes on giving. So with that, I'm going to open it up to the beloveds here to share what they're hearing from Jesus and what's coming in from the one who knows. Oh, Evangelina. Ah, excelente.
Hola.
Hola. I don't know if I can unmute you, Dyra.
¿No está Daira?
Hola.
Hola, Daira.
Hola.
Hola a todos.
Hello, everyone.
So, Evangelina, did you feel to speak?
Entonces, Evangelina, ¿hay algo que querías decirnos?
All of a sudden it won't unmute. Okay.
De repente no me deja quitarte el micrófono.
Okay.
Okay.
Ok. Sí, bueno, yo todavía no tengo con quién unirme para verlo del capítulo 20. Hoy, hace rato le estaba yo diciendo a María que si ella podía.
I still haven't found a partner for chapter 20. So I haven't actually gone over it, but actually I was getting in contact with Maria to see if she wanted to join with me.
Y me dijo que iba a asignar las parejas.
And so she said that Kay was going to assign the partnership.
Entonces, estamos a la espera de que nos asignen.
And so I'm waiting to be assigned.
Okay.
Está bien.
Gracias.
Muy agradecida.
I'm so thankful.
Yes, Lena, you're very much in our hearts. We thought you were going to be joined with Pablo. Yes, so we did join you with something, so we'll check on that to make sure we joined you with Pablo. He speaks both English and Spanish, so he can translate.
So, Lina, estás en nuestros corazones y definitivamente te vamos a unir. Pensé que te habíamos unido con Pablo porque en su unión él habla inglés y español y te podía traducir. Entonces, pero vamos
perfecto.
a revisar eso para unirlos. ¿Está bien?
Yo le comenté a él y me dijo que sí, pero como todavía no estaba el capítulo 20 traducido completamente, pues ya como que quedó en el aire ya, no sé, pero está perfecto, lo que digan está bien.
So yes, I did get in contact with Pablo and it was a definite yes, but I wasn't sure if I was to wait until chapter 20 was completely translated for us to dive in. But no, now it's clear.
Dive in.
Navega al capítulo 20, Lina. No esperes a que esté traducido.
Ok, perfecto.
Perfect, wonderful.
Otra cosa que quería aquí comentar era que René me mandó la posibilidad de ir al centro Arhan a hacer servicio y yo encantada, pero quisiera ver en qué etapas del año se puede porque tengo un hijo de 14 años y ayer que le comenté se quedó así como diciendo y me dijo, no mamá, no te vayas 3 meses.
So I received an invitation from Renee to visit the center. And so I wanted to join just to see when I am able to go and what days, or maybe is it in a particular month. And I am so honored. The only thing that came up was when I informed this to my 14-year-old son, he was kind of holding back. So that's the only thing that was kind of in the way.
Okay, well, we'll join on that. We'll join you and Renee and I will join on that, Lena. And of course, Dyra to help us translate.
Entonces, Lina, es un honor. Yo y René nos vamos a unir contigo y claro, Daira también para que apoyen traducir y podamos profundizarlo.
Ok. Y otra cosa que quería preguntar aquí, en unión con todas las mentes que estamos aquí, he oído ruidos y algunas manifestaciones aquí en mi casa como que alguien me pide ayuda, no sé cómo. No sabía explicarlo porque no lo veo, pero lo siento. Como que se quieren comunicar conmigo. Siento como que son mentes que están vagando y que me están pidiendo ayuda. Como que llegaron aquí, vieron luz y me están pidiendo ayuda. ¿Es posible eso? ¿Se les puede ayudar?
So I wanted to join with all of the minds here today because lately I've been hearing some sounds and manifestations, and it feels to me that it's like a call for help, a call for love. And so I wanted to join with all of you to see if we can go deeper and seeing, going deeper into seeing what it is.
Well, and we can join, Lena, tell Lena, we can join after the session. Today, we were going to talk about, this is for the teams for chapter 20 and to share their experiences, but we can join with her after the session on these things.
Sí, definitivamente, Lina, nos encantaría unirnos juntos, pero hoy vamos a enfocarnos más bien en el capítulo 20, en esa revisión todos, y entonces definitivamente después podemos unirnos y ir profundizando más en la mente a ver qué hay ahí.
Ok, perfecto.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Oh, excelente.
Excelente.
Excelente. So do we have any messages on chapter 20, what you're hearing from Jesus? Oh, is it Marguerite? Yes. Okay, thank you, Marguerite.
Well, I actually wanted to ask some more guidance on it, about how much do you really stick to just purely looking at the desire? Because I've been noticing that when we look at the desire, sometimes it's always related, but there will be other things coming up, or that he will show us. Sometimes my resistance so high to just look at the desire, I just don't want to see it, period. And then sometimes it feels like he brings me like with a little sideways, and we always end up looking at the desire, but
Yeah, this is a good question because of the play in consciousness not to look at desires. Can you hear us, Lena? She was pointing to her ear. Maybe she can't hear you, Dyra.
She's on the phone instead of the computer. That's what she told me.
Oh, I see. So, yes, so it is most helpful if you can stay with the desire, because of course it's going to object, and know that desire is a concept. It's not real, but we want it anyway. This is a great way to see how we're keeping that conceptual experience of the world. We want a world that's full of concepts. So it seems like a resistance to just jump into the desire for the resistance and just stay with it if you can, because it's just diversionary. It's the resistance to looking is what we're really starting to see is the avoidance of looking.
yeah.
So of course he will always try to help us to go in. Of course, he'll find different ways. And if you're following guidance, you notice he will bring you back to the desire. So it's an art to be together, to really listen to what he's pointing to and how to actually let him bring us down. Because it's our willingness that allows and you can even admit it, I'm completely unwilling in any way, shape, or I do not want to look at them. That's admitting a denial. So you can say, Jesus, I'm completely not one to work. It's like the pre-miracle on the miracle. It's actually a miracle, but you know what I'm saying? Before we even get to the desire, we can look at the miracle and say, Jesus, I need help to be willing to look. And then be with. But yes, it's really helpful to stay very attentive to how the avoidance, how the mind's just going to go, ooh, up into outer space, and you're thinking about your grandma. Or the part of it is to bring, so just see that resistance is suppressing the release. That's all it's doing. That's what resistance does. It's a suppression of releasing all that pressed down energy. It's just another form of no. And you can ask him, is this releasing or holding on? So it's beautiful what you're saying, because we're working with him in the way he knows how to lead us through. So just keep, like you're saying, Marguerite, ask for help. But just know that part of this whole thing, that's why, you'll see me just kind of drop out right before looking at chapter 20, because it's a chunk of the whole gig there right in front of, it's like you can't hide from it anymore. So So yeah,
Yeah.
just stay in there. Stay in there. What else is he telling you?
Well, the only thing I hear right now is not to be so harsh on myself, because it's been one of those days. Just holding on to a no. Like a cat, like you say, nah, no, today. Like such a wide opening, and then boom. So, but yeah, I don't know. All I'm hearing right now is gentle, gentle, gentle.
Yes.
I guess that's my message for now, the most important one at this moment.
Yes. And it's good to talk about these things, Marguerite. I'm glad you brought it up. It's so much in holy purpose because we're learning to observe rather than be embroiled with how consciousness plays, and see it all in innocence. One, see divine power, that we're really not the thoughts we have. We're not these thoughts and feelings and emotion. That infinite light is untouched. And it's helpful to start with the light. I was looking at the instructions because you brought my attention back there. And I certainly want to add to the instructions, pray first for help and focus on light. Focus on the light that you are first. Just like in the joining worksheet. And then see the play for what it is. It's all a big fat no. Yeah, as I was saying this morning, really learning what mercy is. Mercy is not holding on to the desire anymore, not denying it. That's what's merciful and most gentle. Is letting it be revealed, into the light.
Yeah, and sometimes we can spend a long time just looking at one desire. Long time.
Yes.
Like, will the same time that we keep joining, we will have like 5 or 6 or 7, and then the next time we will have 1 or 2.
Yes. Yes, if he's leading you that way, that is exactly it.
Yeah, again, I think it's important. Yes, okay. It's important to talk a little more about when you look at the desire and you just hit a big fat no, and you sit and you sit and you sit and you sit, and it feels like nothing's happening. The only important thing to ask right then is, am I holding on or am I releasing?
Yes.
And if you're still holding on, like you just said, you can ask a miracle on the resistance.
Yes. And guide me. There might be something he can show you intermediate. And remember, whenever we're holding on, it's the belief that salvation is in what we're holding on to. That there's a belief that our salvation comes from whatever we're holding on to. It's a flip in the mind. It's a flip.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can ask him, well, can you show me that? Obviously, there's something here that I think is going to save me by keeping it.
Yeah.
And,
see, that's it. Yeah, that's the part what I was saying. Like sometimes he diverts a little to show us something, and then we end up at the desire.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Especially when you're hearing it together too,
Yes.
That's beautiful because he's
Mhm.
leading you through it step by step. And just feel the
Yes.
relief in that.
It's so beautiful how with this joining that we do it a lot. I wouldn't say every day, but practically every day, that we really start saying the same things the whole time. Hmm.
It's like tuning fork for the infinite.
Yeah.
And to see the sameness, see how he's teaching sameness. So the resistance is holding on to differences. There's some difference in the mind. We want to really hold on to. It's a concept. Resistance is always a concept. See that the light doesn't have any concepts. So yeah, so we don't force anything. It's gentle. So you may, okay, and it's just being honesty of God. I don't want to look at this, but I'll be right in the middle of saying that, Jesus, I do not want a boy, not like one shred like that. Like, oh no, but I know I want to go. You see? So, you know, I just, nah, it might look like that.
That's what it looked like today. And my beautiful mighty kept asking, what does Jesus say? And I was just like, I don't want to go there. But we kept going and we kept going. And then eventually, I think we did look at a desire. But we kept going anyway.
See, and that's why you have your mighties. Isn't that gorgeous? It's gorgeous because, yes, it's gorgeous.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
So yeah, it's not a or if we're feeling resistance, we don't admit it, just admit it. Because when we say we don't want to look, that's admitting that there's something to look at that we need to see. See?
Yeah.
Even that's still in the honesty of God lane. I don't want to look. And so with the greatness of what you're bringing up, it's just to remind everybody, say when you don't want to look. Like, I don't want to see, because that's what the ego's always doing. It's always saying, I don't want to look, but it's never close enough. It never gets that close to see it doesn't want to look. Do you see? It's playing up here and objective experience, and screaming and crying, and all that up there is not to get where you've gotten, which is, I don't really friggin' want to look. Do you see that?
Yes.
That's all that stuff up here. And when we get to the point, oh, I don't want to see this. That's, perfect.
Yes, he showed us so clearly today that we just keep going, even though we know we're babbling ego, blah, 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 but we kept going, and eventually, we were like asking each other, I have a decision to make, what do you hear? Just to get clear on that line again, and then following the guidance. If we both hear no, it's no. And so that's how we kept on trying to join anyway, and then we could also look at desires after that. I'm actually realizing that now, how beautiful that was actually orchestrated now. Yeah.
This is really helpful because it's reminding me too, you can ask him, Jesus, am I trying to be in control of this, or am I letting you be in control? That's helpful.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I see it now. Yeah.
It's so great with the clarity that comes in. It's so inspiring to hear you talk about it and be in these joinings, to be inspired that we really can hear him. And he's really here to help us. Oh, that's just sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, even when you're kicking and screaming. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. Happy to hear whatever Jesus is saying through both of you. It's beautiful. Okay. Hi, Mary.
Hi, thank you so much. My dear Mighty and I got into a kerfuffle, so to speak, because I felt out of sync yesterday when we were trying to tackle, and I got to tell you which one we were on. It was that you believe that what others do has an impact on you. And then we went into you believe that what you say has an impact on you. So Jesus had orchestrated it. So I was so much into that. And finally I said, I really feel out of sync with you and what's happening. And what I was really saying was that I felt out of sync with myself and with Jesus. And so she just kept hanging in there, and we were still back and forth, kind of. Usually my experience has been is that Jesus is in charge and we're like right in sync. And yesterday, all of that for me was out the window, and it was all because of the kerfuffle going on, and that it actually blah, 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 you know, whatever story the ego wants to make up about it. So, yeah, you know, we got through the desires, and yet I can see that I really wasn't honest about it. Honest and honesty of God. I didn't really say, like Marguerite, you were just saying, I really don't want to look at this. No, it was like, you know, something's wrong here. So I want to say I love my Mighty. And yeah. And then it goes down to, you desire an experience of feeling there's something wrong in the world. And it's just hysterical, how Jesus orchestrates it at times, in my experience of the joinings, where we're right in the middle of the actual experience of that desire. I mean, that desire is playing out. And it's not always that way. Sometimes, we just bing, 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 and we get down there, and we both make clear at the same time. So anyway, the process is just, is so helpful and clarifying, because there's no give in it. You don't, I can't, my ego can only go so far in messing with it. And then I'm like, oh boy, Jesus, thank you. I may not get it right in this moment, but there's a little light showing up here. So that's all that's coming to my mind right now.
Oh, that's so beautiful, because it's helping the whole. See, we're seeing another way in which the ego, it's kind of like, I call it a ping. Like it's like a little, it wants to bounce off the looking. We start to go deep, and it's like a little bing, it's going to pounce up. And so it's good for everyone to see this and to recognize it, that's how it works. As soon as you start to go, okay, like we talked about the ice cream truck, or there's something wrong here, in the enterprise, so it's wonderful to see this together. It's helpful for the whole, because we can see the play come up, and we're just keep asking, okay, Jesus. And like you're saying, it's the very thing that he's bringing us to that we don't want to see. And then we can see how we don't want to see it, because it pops up like a cork.
Yeah, I notice Jesus is showing me how dishonest I like to be with myself. And, in the moment, I'm kind of kicking and screaming, and yet underneath it all, and this brings me to tears, there's such willingness to hang in there and keep going.
That's all there is, Mary. And the group that's here, it's pure willingness. Yeah, you have to, we have to see that, really. Listen to Jesus. Jesus is, how much is there willingness? There's full willingness for this, for all of us. It's just, We just have to see that it's innocence and it's such a reflex. You know, it's such a habit. So he understands, we all understand, because we've all done the pop like a cork. You know, it's such a habit to ping into, but now we see it. Do you see? So this is a wonderful opportunity for all of us to see, oh, that's kind of, you know, be like Mimsy on the beach. Oh, that's interesting. That's how that plays.
Mm.
And then see no error. See, we can't see error in it either.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me. You know, oh, there's something wrong here. Oh, you're not doing this right. Whatever I've got going on there.
So yeah, so then we can just be, and if it comes up, okay, then you can spend a little time with Jesus going, okay, teach me about that diversion. Because what the ego will do, it'll play like, oh, I'm guilty because I diverted from the mission. No, Jesus says right here, right now, look with me. Jesus, it seems like I diverted. Can you kind of show me the desire under that?
Mm.
You know, so we can go directly to him. See, join with me in a moment of light immediately, because he's not counting our, you know, he's not elf on the shelf. It's like Linda sending us Jesus on the shelf. We're going to sit him up on that shelf. We got Jesus on the shelf, and he just goes with me, infinite love right now. Thank you, Jesus. I appreciate that reminder for me. Thank you, Mary. And then we look together. You see, we just come together. We come in together in the light of truth. Yes, these things are going to play and pop like corks, but not for long. Because we see our salvation doesn't lie there.
Mm. Salvation
Isn't in the cork popping. It's in the going all the way to see there's nothing under there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's awesome. It's good for us to see that.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's only devotion here. Thank you, Mary. We love you. Okay, they're going. Here they go. Irene.
Hi, everybody. And I don't know if we're supposed to expose it or not, but Mary's the partner. We're looking at chapter 20 together, and we've been doing it once a week, which to me seems like so far between. But I liked, we were talking about it yesterday where I said, well, I remember Kay saying we're supposed to ask Jesus when to join, you know, and when to be done, and when the next time is. So we kind of looked at that yesterday and weren't able to make a complete connection, except that we will continue at the designated time we have currently. But we did have a question, because I take things so literally that I recall that we were supposed to look at each sentence and then look at it as a desire, except it looks as if it's printed out as each desire has the belief and then the desire underneath it. So do we take each part of that and look at each one separately, or look at it as a whole desire and the manifestation of the belief? You know, we were getting confused on that.
Yeah.
So
For now, because the ego likes to chunk stuff and bury it, just go each sentence. What do I need to see here, Jesus?
okay, so ask
Go with
each
dialogue with him.
Okay. So even if it's stating a belief and not a desire, look at the belief, and then, you know, acknowledge the belief when we see it. And then do we ask for a miracle with that and then go on to the next sentence? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's helpful for clarifying that. And then one thing that was really great with Mary and I yesterday, because she was having what she was apparently going through. I remember going through it before, but I didn't have the courage to say it. You know, I was just kind of faking it, you know. denying all that was going on. Anyway, so it was great to hear her saying that yesterday, because I could totally understand what she was going through. I didn't have to say it. I just watched her do it, and just was able to kind of just hang in there with her. But what we did is we both were realizing that the way that we interpret or would describe how it feels when a desire is moving through us and completely going out is different. For her, it's a flash and she's clear. And for me, it feels more like a, for lack of a better way to describe it, a full body energy moving through. And mine seems to take a little longer than hers in time. So we were looking at if one of us saw the clearing, as soon as we saw the clear, we would open our eyes and not speak any words until we saw the other one open their eyes, that they were also clear. And that seemed to help, because sometimes when it's clearing for me, Mary would talk and I wasn't done yet, and it would kind of pull me out of it. So that was kind of, to me, I felt very helpful that we have, and we haven't, we're not one yet. You know, I mean, like when they're clearing, they're not as one, but I could see that sometimes they are, but that helpful, that describing it and then waiting and using the eye opening. Okay, my eyes are open now. It's a signal that it's clear and we can have a conversation or see if Jesus wants us to comment on anything that happened. That was really helpful for me yesterday. And, but overall, to me, I can see it's a process of practice. And I want to just relay something that happened with me and Mary a week or two ago when we were joining. I never had this experience before, but Mary was talking and it felt like there was this rush of energy, or I felt like I was being in a vacuum almost with her. And I just started crying and I felt this overwhelming sense of love for her, and everything she was saying and doing was so beautiful and so perfect. And I couldn't stop it. It just kept going. And I was trying to tell her what was happening and she's just talking. And it was like, I would only say it was like, I never felt like I really loved somebody completely before, ever. And that was what I experienced. And then I kind of forgot about it. And then I meant to ask about it, and it happened again in a joining this morning with Christy, the same gush of connection came in. So I asked Jesus, is that love? And I keep like hearing a doubt. So I wanted to ask it with you. And is it okay to ask it here to hear what's said?
Yeah, it feels good. I just want to address the first thing you talked about.
Okay.
Where, you're relating and one of you needs a little more time. Ask for it. Just say, I just need a moment here. Okay. So we don't want to be too prescriptive because we want Jesus to guide everything in that moment. But what I would say, if you need more of a moment, because that is true that Jesus saying, yes, it seems to move or release in different ways. You might hiccup, you can't know. We just have to ask them. So before start talking on the next thing, just check in with both. Are you complete yet? And just hold until both says, okay, I'm done. That might be what's most helpful. Just say, okay, we're just going to hold a minute and just let it. And you can be with that because And you can ask Jesus, are we ready for the next one? Do we rest here? So he can just completely guide it and just go until you both hear it. Yes, it feels complete. See Jesus going to do the little bow. Ready for the next one. So yes, the whole point of this is the great eraser for separation and the release of love through the miracle. A love that's unknown in thought-based consciousness, where the denial is just suppressing all that infinite love. So as you'll discover is the borders will start to, you'll see it. The number of beings are talking about it. In a joining, in true joining, you see what's already joined. So you can just be present with it.
It was just it was such a rush, for lack of a better word. It was a rush, and it was like everything she was doing I could see in me, and I loved it for the first time ever. It was like just such a back and forth thing happening. And I wanted to comment one other thing. Yesterday, Mary had printed out the directions for chapter 20 guidance, and she read through those, first. And that was really helpful too, for both of us to, reaffirm the guidance, because we both get caught up in the story, talking. And so that was just really, really helpful to bring it back to, it was okay to talk about something if it was helpful in the release, but not to have to talk the whole time through it. So that was just helpful to have that printed out. I haven't seen it yet, but Mary read through it, and it was very helpful. So
Yeah.
when I hear you say that we should do it, every morning or every day or whatever, it's like, oh my God, we, with our time zones and work, and to fit it together. And then just to relax and realize that it's going to come as often as it is, as the time becomes available to do it, and just be willing to jump in those moments. Mary said yesterday, just text me bleep me when you have time, and we'll see if we can hook up in between. So, yeah.
Yeah. And, we can trust that if he's saying it's this important and it's in guidance, that he's going to help clear that path. Yeah, because that's really what I hear from this, how valuable this is. Valuable use of time. We value ourselves in this. The straight shot to heaven. I mean, so that's what he's saying. And he's also, thank you for the reminder on the instructions. Yes, follow the instructions, and follow the instructions even when you join, or you've joined a bunch of times. With the other joining worksheet, use that worksheet. It's so easy to go spin off into some kind of story or, ego extras. And that's just a beautiful reflection coming in from the mighties, that this really is going to keep us from going sideways. His instructions. Well, he's given them. He knows what keeps us from going sideways. And just let him take over everything. That's Christ control, It's just, this is the training. It's not just about the session. It's really about guidance, to be in the session and following and listening and letting him set the dates and the times, it's really learning how to step back and let him lead the way. This is a comprehensive Jesus package going right here. I can see he's got everything in it. The dissolution of the denial, and following, listen, follow. All the way, Jesus. Thank you so much, Irene. These are so great. These are great. And it's beautiful to talk about the love experience. I've never loved that. Oh my God, feel that. Never loved this way before. We're meeting ourselves for the first time. We're really meeting ourselves for the first time and seeing how much we just didn't even have a clue about what love is. Letting that divine expression come through as those denials fall away.
It just makes me want to cry again, just the thought of it. And also, Jesus sings to me all the time, and Mary, he just sings something he just sings to me all the time. And so, yeah, Mary gets to hear the song plays. It's like a jukebox now, you know, Jesus puts a song or a line comes in and then what it is it a lot of times it takes away the seriousness. And it's just, so she's okay with it. I don't know how to stop it. So I don't anymore. It just comes in. So.
It's beautiful to release to the play of the infinite. Yeah, I was just because we don't know. It's like God, we're a flute that God plays beautifully. And only He knows the music. There's such a concept about what Christ control looks like. I can see that. And just to be so fully utilized, that's love by spirit, to serve God. And let the expression be as it is, full and complete in the celebration of all that is. That's just can't be understood by ego. Wrong-mindedness can't understand. It's not possible. It's because it's a manufacture to prevent that experience. And this is just washing away all the conceptual. So then that love just moves. The miracle just moves naturally. It's beautiful, Irene. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary.
Anyone else like to share? Anyone getting a prompt from Jesus to talk that needs to speak? Okay, Lori. Okay, Lori.
Thank you for the willingness and the hanging in there. I have a question. Would it be okay?
Okay, a question related to chapter 20 or another question?
Related to getting started with chapter 20.
Okay.
Because I heard Irene mentioned something about the printout of the guidance, and I don't know where that is. I wonder where that is. That was in chapter 20 that's found.
No, now wait. Oh, so you mean when she was talking about the worksheet?
Irene mentioned that Mary has a printout of something about guidelines for chapter 20.
So
And I wonder
there's-
where they are.
So what we're going to do right after this session is I'm going to send a link to the web page. And in the web page that there's just in case some beings haven't gotten it, there's a worksheet for going through chapter 20 and it tells you guidance how to go through it.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm clear. Thank you.
Yeah, and this is a great question because, it's a great question. Thank you for that clarity. And we're putting together a unit also in the brigade that will have all these links and everything.
All right. Thanks.
And remember too, if you're just getting started, because different beings have started and come on board at different times, there is a video that shows where we talk about the guidance, how to go through chapter 20. There's that one as well. Thanks for asking, Lori. That's great. Oh, yeah, we'll make sure, Lena, that Pablo has that too, so he can read it to you, translate it for you.
Yo encantada de unirme. De hecho, podría hacerlo diario, si Pablo está disponible. En otras ocasiones podría ser con María. María y yo nos unimos en una creencia. ¿Continúo, Daira?
So I feel that I can join with Pablo and with the instruction. And also I wanted to ask if, because I've joined previously with Maria and we've gone through the desires previously. So that was kind of the question.
Well,
Ella, María y yo contemplamos la primera creencia de que se nos llevaría tiempo aceptar la sanación, aceptar la expiación.
That we have gone over, we have joined previously into the acceptance of the correction together.
Y Jesús nos fue llevando poco a poco a ver que al fondo había una creencia sobre el especialismo.
And when I went deeper and deeper, we saw the false belief in specialness.
El miedo a dejar ser el ser especial.
The fear of losing the special, the self-concept.
María y yo nos habló a las dos simultáneamente lo mismo.
And we heard the same thing simultaneously.
Fue muy sanador y muy liberador esa unión.
It was very healing this joining.
Yo estuve más de una semana radiante de felicidad.
And I was literally in the miracle for like a week long, just on that joining.
Esto me llevó al hecho de darme cuenta que es muy benéfico mirar estas creencias.
And I saw how beneficial it is to actually look directly at these desires.
Creo que a María también le resultó muy benéfico. Estamos muy contentas las dos.
And I can see it through my sister Maria, how it was very beneficial for her as well.
Entonces, eso fue hace 2 semanas antes de las fiestas.
And so this was about 2 weeks ago, prior to the holidays.
Ahora las fiestas fueron una gran distracción para ver nuestra luz.
And so now through the holidays, it was a great distraction to actually go past and see the light.
Bueno, ya no me puedo relacionar de la misma manera con mis hermanos familiares.
And I can see how something doesn't feel so familiar as prior through the holidays with the family members.
Inclusive salió un comentario de que el amor es algo malo.
And so I could see through this commentary as if love is something bad.
Yo dije, oh Jesús, es como ponerle a la Mona Lisa bigotes.
And so I was saying, oh Jesus, it's like putting a mustache to the Mona Lisa art.
Así es que seguramente no me va a llevar a estas reuniones próximamente.
And so, ¿que no te va a llevar a las reuniones, Lina?
A reunirme de esa manera próximamente, si lo que buscamos es la luz, ¿no?
And so, yes, the joinings, I don't feel I will join on the same way through that concept.
Siento que esa fue mi reflexión después de todo estos días.
And so I feel this was my reflection going on these days.
Y ahora siento mucho el deseo de unirme para ver estas creencias, porque esto es lo que me trae a la paz, a la dicha.
And so there's a lot of willingness to look at these desires because I see that when I do, it brings a lot of peace.
Entonces, pues yo estoy abierta a unirme con María, con Pablo, con quien sea, y si es posible diario, diario.
And so I'm very willing to join with Maria or Pablo just to look at these desires.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Gracias.
Oh.
Gracias. Thank you. Eso es hermoso.
Gracias.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all of this. It's been very interesting for all of us with how Jesus is pairing beings together. Like we just pray on it, and then he does the pairings, at least for chapter 20. And so it's very interesting. We don't really know. We just kind of hear, I just kind of hear, okay, Jesus, okay, Lena, and then, okay, who, and it can Pablo, and then they come together and we put them together now for chapter 20. Yet, of course, everyone's still jumping those joins whenever something arises or they want to look at something. So, yeah, I hear him say this is encouraged, really, to continue as well. So there's some kind of holy purpose in the beings that he's matching as well that I don't know. So I just say yes, and then we share what we hear and, see how it flows. I get, and trust him. He somehow, I don't know how he does it, but obviously he knows and I don't. So we just pray on it, and because we even asked, do we get involved or we just turn it out there? And he said, no, you're to be, somehow that's helpful for us to listen. It's helping us learn to listen to him and follow. So it's for everyone. This whole thing is for everyone. So Maria, did you want to say something? Would you like to speak?
I think she's on silent.
Oh, okay.
Her microphone, yeah.
Oh, okay. Or might you? Okay.
María, trata de ver si puedes quitarte de silencio.
Oh, it unmuted for a second, then remuted.
Sí, ahora.
Yeah.
¿Sí?
Sí, ahora.
Ah, vale. Vale. No sé qué compartir porque ahora que Evangelina hablaba, recordaba yo la sesión, pero la tenía muy, muy olvidada. Pero sí que es cierto que sí, que cuando ha ido hablando, pues he recordado la unión y que era como muy en sincronía. Y sí que tengo, bueno, sí, te dejo traducir, Taira.
Yes, now I don't really have anything to share, but I do recall that when I joined with Evangelina, all the healing that took place in that joining.
Y que sí, que tengo como mucha deseo de las uniones y de hacerlo con más frecuencia y que si no es como un poco que se pierde el, pues tomar más la fuerza de escuchar la voz y eso, que está el deseo de hacer las uniones con frecuencia, que no sé si tengo que esperar a que me den, porque te solicite el compañero. No sé si Kelly tengo que esperar que me dé compañero o qué.
And so, yes, I'm very encouraged for these joinings actually, and I do feel that that is a priority to make them more frequent, just because the mind tends to get distracted or avoid looking. And the only thing is that I know I did reach out, and I'm just waiting on Kelly or you to pair me with someone, just so I can go through the chapter 20 once it's ready, once it's translated in Spanish.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Maria, we feel you in our heart and we're looking to find someone who can start. What? Yes, I think so. Mhm.
Sí, María, te tenemos en nuestros corazones y actualmente estamos en el proceso de unirte con alguien para así poder ir hacia el capítulo 20.
Okay,
Perfecto.
okay, un
Perfect.
momento. I'm just going to check on.
Un momento, voy a chequear algo, María. Estoy traduciendo, Salita.
Yes,
En
we
vivo.
have, right, we have a partner for
Sí,
you.
sí, tenemos una pareja para ti.
Ajá, muy bien.
Sí, muy bien. Yes,
Just
perfect.
so we make sure, because there's a couple of Marias. What's Maria's last name? To make sure we're pairing the Maria.
Sí, solo que estamos mirando porque tenemos varias Marías y queremos asegurarnos de cuál es el apellido, María.
Muñoz.
Muñoz.
Munoz, okay. Okay, in that case, yes, we will put you on the list, Maria, for sure.
Entonces sí, María, te tenemos en la lista de seguro. Vamos a ir en oración y ver la guía.
Yes,
Perfecto.
thank you for telling us your.
Y gracias por comunicarnos.
A vosotros, muchas gracias.
To you, Kay, thank you. I'm so grateful.
Love you. Love
Te
you.
amamos.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Eso es
Oh. Wow. So beautiful. This is such a precious way to look so deeply into the mind with Jesus, boy. Did you want to say something, Mariska? You sure? It feels like maybe the Holy Spirit would speak through you.
Yeah, what came up in my mind was that I sometimes get very tired and feeling heavy, and Jesus is always telling me, no, don't quit, stay. But yeah, what he's telling me is that I make it difficult, complicated, and that it's not necessary. And what I told you yesterday, then what's happening is that I try to do it myself instead of follow him. And what I learned now is because we joined almost every day, what I see now is that I learn to follow because of the joinings. And it's such a great present when you know how to follow, you know? It's yeah, I told you today I asked him the whole day questions, and I didn't do it before, but now I'm talking and asking. Yeah, it's because of the joinings. I learned to listen and to hear his voice and to follow. And every time when it gets heavy, I try to do it myself, and I'm trying too hard. and he asked me to relax. I will do the heavy work.
I just keep feeling like there's something, a message he has for all of us through you, Mariska. Do you hear anything?
Yeah, he's showing me now something, but I don't know how to explain yet. Yeah, he shows me it's only in the mind. You cannot change anything in the world. It's only in the mind. We talked about it, and Margriet and I talked about it today. And we saw it so clear. We can only join with in the one mind. And we don't, and that's why we don't have to do anything. It's not necessary to do anything or to say or. Yeah, it's just one mind. I was looking to the computer, and I saw all these faces, and I saw it was just one mind. And the expression is all these faces. Yeah, and he asked me to remember to. So you don't need to look at the thoughts, feelings, pictures. And it becomes very easy then when you see. And and I think he shows me it will be all the same then. You need to go to all the desires, but the way out is every time the same. Because we join with him and he will do the work. So it's in the joining all the time. And yes, because we are together, we can remind each other. We need it to remind, to have a reminder. And he's so happy. He shows me all day. He showed me how happy he was that I was with him and talked with him and was looking at him and opened the door, opened my heart for him. And actually, it opened my heart for my family as well.
Mm.
Yeah, so your Jesus is right. The joining is what we need. Going to the desires. He's always right. Yeah. That's it. Jesus, yes.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. That's a line. Jesus is always right. So beautiful. Is there anyone else who has a question or would like to share? About their experience looking at the, oh, great. Okay, here you go, Dennis. Thank you, Dennis.
Well, for me, most of the time I know when I look at whatever the desire is, what helps me is to say a word or maybe 2 words, a very short thing to express, I guess, which kind of helps releasing me, helps me go deeper. And I also feel when I know that it's not complete, and sometimes it's when I feel like it is complete, sometimes it's incredibly ecstatic and happy and full of light, and other times it's just a peaceful feeling. And sometimes I wonder about those peaceful feelings because they're not as strong as the other full of light, happy, ecstatic kind of feelings, if I've really completed it. But the process is so, I cannot praise it and love it enough. You know, it's just so fantastic. So what my prayer has been all about is to have exactly this kind of thing. Even though I didn't know it was this kind of form, it was just so miraculous and full of ease. And there's not a lot of fear. It's mostly just looking. And the emotion that may be there is not anything that grabs me. I don't get lost in the egos so much. I just stay listening, and it's still the same thing as I'm hearing my own voice. And, and it's kind of interesting that with this form of this process that I'm able to hear so well. But when I ask questions, what should I do? What should I do next? I oftentimes don't get an answer, at least in my time frame. But I'm thinking that just now, I'm just thinking that probably I do get the answer at some point. I'm just not connecting the asking and the answer.
Mm.
And also, I think there's, like I think I said before, is that there's times like this morning that where I have this really intense reaction. And part of what I know what happened this morning is that my partner decided to drop out for now. And she had been going back and forth because, yeah, she'd just been going back and forth in terms of doing it or not doing it. And finally, it was just like, no, I'm not going to do it. She didn't talk to me. She just left this messenger message, and I felt really hurt and really angry. That was intense for a while. Then I got into an argument with my wife because of that, because I was had not released it altogether. And it also showed me a lot about, well, just still a lot left, a lot of ego stuff left. But it seems like it's getting more intense. Like the reactions, the emotions are really strong, and they're not long lived. There's just, some of them just go away just like that. Others take a little while, but they go away pretty quickly. And it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot. It's not a lot of effort there. Not a lot of me trying to figure it out anymore, because that just does not work. But there's also been a real strong purification of all these beliefs and desires. And I think there's just a whole lot of gratitude for it. Just thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, everybody, for being together and supporting one another. Is so wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dennis, for everything you're sharing with us. And we may see some of these seemingly changes in form with partners. It's such a great opportunity to look with Jesus. And because we do, if you're really, the call of your heart is this, we will keep you matched. It's part of the play not to look. You can see it. We're seeing what the play is, not to look this deeply. I was asking Jesus, so are some beings not ready? He says, everyone's ready. Will they say yes? That's the thing. Because this is yes to hearing his voice. As Mariska said, this is yes to start to have a conversation with him. And the plane consciousness does not want this conversation. Do you see? I know I avoided it. The I didn't want to have it. So yeah, we're really called to something very deep here together, and a great gift given by Jesus to work with this one-on-one coaching with him. So we're just gonna, follow him, and however he directs for us to match the beings together, that's what we're gonna, keep doing, because it's in guidance. This is helpful for the whole. It's in service for the whole. So, and sometimes beings are gonna just kind of play drop out, and then they might come back. We can't say. We just pray on it, and if someone still wants a partner, we're gonna ask Jesus and find one. Because this is his deepest teaching. This is the Course in Miracles. Then what you said, Dennis, is so valuable, because it's pointing to what this does is will take you out of fear. You see, because as soon as you go to desire, you're out of fear. You're before fear can arise, actually. And then it's just pure looking. It's just pure looking. I do really want that Jesus. I want it more than God, I really don't want to look at it all, but I know I want it. It just gets to be honesty of God for everything. So we're really grateful to have you all, and to have this seva, this selfless service with you. And we look every day, that's what we do all, because we know when it's concentrated, you can see the speed of this thing. I mean, he's not kidding about this at all. I mean, this is a rocket ship, because you're not spending any time in a story. There's no things around it. There's just you or us and him, however that works. And like beings are saying, there's no sideways, and very little sideways. I mean, you'll see a little fluff. Okay. But there's not much room in here for, to slip a dime in there. too much. It's either, do I have that belief or desire? Yes, I do, Jesus. Okay, can I look at it, release it to a miracle? Okay. No, I don't want to look at it. Will you help me? And even Marguerite said, he brought her right into it. Still, he'll take you. You might have to go a little bit down 2 doors and come back. He knocks on the same door again. you know. But it's just cutting the knees off of fear in this. Really, if you stay with it and encourage your partner, because there's like the consciousness is playing. Oh, well, maybe they'll contact me. Maybe no, we're not going to do that mamby-pamby stuff anymore. We're doing, Jesus, is this helpful for me to get on the thing and horn and contact, or do I wait? We're just stay attentive to him. So there's no, whatever he's guiding. Okay, call him now. What's the timing on that, Jesus? That's another thing, he's reminding me of. Don't only hear the prompt, because here's what we'll do. I hear a prompt. Well, I think maybe a week from now. I hear you, Jesus. I'll get back to you. How about 15, 20 minutes? They're like, no, it's good to ask. This is what we have to do. We ask them, are you talking about that now? So we can learn to be now with the prompts. And here's another thing, something will come up and I'll say, okay, will you remind me right when it's needed? And he will. Can you remind me right when it's needed? Or I write it down, whatever's most helpful, and then do it. But you can see that little play at delay. The play at, well, Jesus, I'm kind of working on something else right now. That's what we're saying to ourselves. That's what we're saying to happiness. Well, I got something else going besides supreme happiness right now. I'm gonna, let me just finish up this computer game. No use being spring, it's like that little play. So this is really good. And that's why we're just helping. We're lovingly following the prompt. Lovingly following the prompt, because the prompts are the most merciful way to treat ourselves. Ask Jesus, is following a prompt the most merciful thing I can do for myself? It's love, man. It's love in entirety. Yeah, so we'll pray on that, Dennis, and see if another partner's given, or we'll join with you and stay joined, because I know the call's there for chapter 20. It's helpful to have a partner. It's service to the whole, that willingness. It's beautiful. See, now is the time to, consciousness plays like a huddle, but this is when Jesus is using a huddle. You know what I mean? You know what a huddle is, just in case you're not a football fan. Maybe we'll watch a football movie. But they come in with a quarterback and they all huddle in to hear what the gameplay is. And then they stay together and they go all the way to this one, the goal. This is Jesus's huddle, and he's in the middle giving the instructions. And so we got to huddle in with the team, and just encourage those mighties to stay on board. Well, as guided, because there's no one to convince. There's only guidance. I'll say that. We're not convincing anyone. We are following guidance. To really look at if there is resistance to doing chapter 20, we just look at it, or just join with us, or God, I want to see this book again. I want to burn it on the bonfire out backyard. Okay. We got a fire pit back there. We're just here to just love and just love, that's all we're here for, and follow his guidance. So are there any more, these are beautiful observations and joyful. Are there any more observations or hearing from Jesus, or questions about what's happening? Oh, Mary, is that you? Did I see you wave? Yeah, okay. Okay.
What Jesus was saying was that it's moving us away, and my ego loves to do this, from thinking I'm doing anything, and experiencing that growing trust that Jesus is doing it. I don't have to do anything. I can just, as you've said so often, ask and follow. And that occurs as a desire for process. Yeah, so just, yeah, as we've been going through chapter 20, there, I observe Jesus is showing me this growing trust and just letting go, and dare I say, magic, marvelous things happen, and I didn't do anything. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Mary. Yeah, it really is let you be in charge. It's really got everything of the whole course here. Direct experience. Start with the light. Join with me in the light. Join with your brother. Just look directly to see that these denials hold no power over the Son of God. And to see how he's just like you're saying, he's doing everything to even put this whole package together for all of us. And so we can see how we see it through each other too. We need each other to see it all. I don't know how he's doing it, but it's, yeah. All for love. All for love. So it feels good though. Oh, here comes Anne. All righty. Thank you, Mary. Love you. Cuddles. Okay. Hi, Anne.
A huge desire not to speak, but I'm being prompted really strongly to speak, and I don't even know what it is I'm saying. So
good.
I just had a lot of gratitude for what's being shared here, for this whole process. I'm really quite new to it, and it's incredible. I just don't know. Yeah. I think I tried joining this group some time ago, and it just wasn't right at the time, and now it just seems to be perfect. And I think when Mariska shared, she had something to share, and it was just a real simple thing, but I couldn't hear it. I've been feeling like, oh, everybody's talking so wonderfully about how the joining has gone on chapter 20, and mine hasn't gone that way at all. Although, yeah, so I was like, yeah, this desire, I guess, to feel, like, oh, out of it, which is, yeah, is a common theme. But Mariska just said, like Jesus does the heavy lifting, that's, and it's like, yeah, here I am sat here like I've got something to do, it's like, and yeah, and it's really just allow what's going on. And then, of course, Dennis shared, that his joining, for whatever reason, so that was just so helpful. It's like, okay, like I'm not the odd one out or something like that, which is of course the voice for the ego. But I so want to do it. There's such a strong desire as well, to go through chapter 20 and look at all those desires, even though, there's a pull away from it as well.
Yeah, wow, Anne, so much joy having you here with us, and what a blessing that is. Just a blessing. It's like having one of God's holy angels landing, to have you here with us. And I don't know how the purpose works, but I think your partner's actually here with us. Corey's here. Corey.
Oh, okay. My new upcoming partner.
Yeah, I don't know if he would go video so we can see him, but I think he's really had a strong call. We can feel him too so deeply, Anne. His call is strong like yours. So it feels like, yeah, that is so beautiful to have you together with us, really. I don't know, it feels very holy. This whole thing feels very holy.
And I just want to say I'm so glad that I followed that prompt, because as soon as I didn't know what was going to come out or anything, but I just feel, yeah, just the heart opening from it. And yeah. Wow.
We're glad you followed too. Really, that's what we're here for, each other, to stand, and when the prompt comes to, like, we're the support of the angels behind each one of us to support that prompt fully. Oh, hi, Corey. Would you like to share anything, Corey? Oh, one moment, he says.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Nothing in particular other than pretty much everything everyone said has really resonated in my experience as well, or in my thoughts. The feeling, the ego thought of feeling I'm the odd one out, and I'm seeing this fear of I mean, I've never really, like, even the connection to the idea of Jesus is very new to me, or hearing guidance. I mean, it's new to my like belief system, and but I'm seeing that all that's really happened before now is just that it was just blocks to that idea, just clouds in the way of a light. And you know, it will take the time that it takes. I don't feel, well, I do feel a pressure, but I see the illusory aspect of it too. Yeah, that's kind of all.
That's so beautiful. I can tell you, all I can hear immediate. It's like, I just heard, he speaks to you all the time and you hear him. You have an idea that you can't hear him, but you do actually hear him.
Yes, and I think someone told that to me in a joining. I think that was Marguerite. Pretty much exactly that. And so that planted a seed in my mind where, I mean, I have intuitions and things, and now I'm like, oh, I probably just lack discernment.
Yes.
And so yeah, that's like a new avenue to think about and to experience, is like, oh, well, I mean, I've had ideas just pop in my head, songs that I haven't heard in 10 years pop in my head, and then I'll read the lyrics and it'll be a very applicable to my life at the time. Actually, I just realized that this year. Someone was mentioning like the jukebox or something. And I never really thought of that as Jesus, just as like my unconscious or something, but it opens things way up to think of it in that way.
So who knows that's Jesus? We all hear it. We can all hear it here. We're all going, there he is. Who can hear it? We can all hear that's Jesus right there. Look, we can all hear that together, man. Right on in. You know what he's saying? At least he's saying here, he's saying, you hear me really well. It is the concept of who you think he is.
That's the block.
Yes, it seems to be, it's not really a block because you hear him well, but that it's the concept of what you think hearing him is going to be like. You know, it just give him that. Just say, okay, I'm going to give you any concepts I have about what it looks like to talk to Jesus, and just see what he says.
I want him to be like Mufasa in The Lion King, with a deep, loud, reverberating voice that I can't deny from the sky or something.
He says you can hear him now, actually. If you listen, you could actually hear him. What's he saying?
Yeah, every time I do this, it's just, I just experience the block, to be honest, like the fear in the block, and it's like it just shuts down.
To just lay that aside for a minute, the fear and the block, because you can take it back. See, we can have these anytime we want them, right? If you just put that aside, because you were called here. See, something in you knew.
Yeah, it was a little something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let that little something speak through you.
I feel like it's just gonna take a while. I just feel this like this anxiety that just clouds it.
It's good if just speak through it, though. You can speak through that. Let that voice that let you know that you are to come here speak.
It feels so hard to connect to it. It almost feels impossible. It's the best way I can put it.
And there'll be plenty of practice with the intuition, because he says you're like full on intuition on a lot of things. Is that true?
Yes.
It's just it's a voice of intuition. That's all it is. It's just a conceptual idea, really. Because he says you speak him and Marguerite heard it too. and Kelly says she hears it too. Yeah, she says you hear him, and she talks to him all day long, and he's telling her that you hear him like she does.
Wow.
Yeah, he's talking to you in all different ways.
Yeah, it is a lot of different ways.
A lot of different ways. Yeah, like Kelly. He talks to Kelly in a lot of different ways. He talks to all of us in a lot of different ways, but some seem to penetrate. Yeah, so you can really trust that and go with the intuition in chapter 20. That will help you a lot, because he says you talk to him very clearly. So sometimes we're looking for something specific. This is helpful for all of us to see, because sometimes we're looking for something really specific around talking to Jesus. And it's not like that. It's intuition. He speaks in all kinds of ways. It just happens here. He speaks really like words, but sometimes he doesn't say a word. I don't know, something comes out. So we have to really be open to the ways he's going to communicate with us.
Yeah.
And go to the kind of like that resonance of knowing. And then spend time just open with no idea about how he's going to communicate. That's the best way. Like, I don't know, you tell me. It's like, because the biggest impediment is the doubt that we can talk to him. Really. But we do talk to him. Every being that comes here, he tells me who talks to him, actually. As Marguerite said, and Kelly can hear it over there too. You just start, because it's in function. It's our function to support each other in speaking that voice. And so then he's going to give us the information so we can support each other. Every being called here can hear him clearly.
That's amazing.
You know, so we're just here to support each other, to clear any doubt thoughts that we can hear him. And it's also helpful to have a conversation with him, or however he communicates with you, or for us, it's not you. I mean, it's not personal, but just have a conversation with him. Okay, show me the blocks. In chapter 20 is going to take the legs out underneath that too. That practice, chapter 20, and the light circles, we'd start tapping into that little intuition, and you can start with a yes, no with him. That's helpful. By asking, okay, Jesus, we can take one thing out of the chapter 20 and just do it and try it out and see. So we'll take one, and just practice, because we're going to practice, because it's good. Okay, so Jesus, or intuition inside, is there a desire inside to feel punished by God? Let's all ask. Somewhere in there, below our level of awareness, have an experience as though we're going to be punished by God. What does our intuition say? And then we just ask. I hear yes. What do you hear?
I just experienced it as like a very subtle sort of yes feeling in here.
Yes. Yes.
Very subtle. Almost
Yes.
didn't get it.
Yes. 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 And we're tuning into that tuning fork right there. That's all. And that we can all hear, because we're one with God, and therefore that's voice is our voice. How beautiful to come hear it, that song of God sing through us. Like, this is the orchestra of God here, singing and tuning the instruments to always point up to him. Wow. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that Jesus put this constellation of Jesuses together.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. We love having you here with us. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. So any other comments? That's so wonderful. Thank you all for such a holy call and purpose to go to God. Love from San Juan. Oh, here's all the Jesuses lined up together. There they are. In stereo, Jesus, go for God. We love you.